Hiya friends, Prepared Suburbanite back with you. Well, today is August 31st, and I am not sorry to say goodbye to August and all its wonderful holidays. But I am glad that we are moving into September at midnight tonight. I'm really looking forward to the change in the season and the change in the weather. It's been extraordinarily hot and humid around here for the last few days. Very uncomfortable temperatures, stuff that you just don't want to have anywhere around you. But here's what I wanted to talk about today. There is a deafening silence from the liberals and from the left about this presidential election. And let me get into some examples and some detail and my thoughts on what I think is really going on. The deafening silence that I've noticed, and it's like noticing the absence of something rather than the presence of something. And what I've noticed is a lack of or almost zero support for the Democrat presidential candidate and the vice presidential candidate. There's an awful lot of stuff in the media, the print media, the television media, podcasts and things like that that are extolling the wonderful virtues, which never change, obviously. The values never change, according to Kamala. But what's really getting under my skin is the lack of everyday liberal and lefty support. And let me give you a couple of examples. I get quite a lot of comment on my videos, and I've got a Facebook presence. I'm on X, and my wife does Facebook. And we do have a few in our circle of acquaintances or social media acquaintances that lean towards the liberal side, and a couple that are full-blown leftists. And here's just a couple of examples. This one came from a comment on my YouTube videos, and I'm not going to mention the people's names or anything like that, but I'm just going to capsulize what they said. You understand that the GOP are the ones that are trying to invalidate mail-in ballots. You understand that the MAGA extremists are the ones that tried to sabotage our power stations. Do you understand that the GOP has been overthrown by radicals that have a plan to replace democracy with autocracy? Now, to counter that is pretty easy, but the fact that this particular person went to the trouble to make that kind of a comment, it's almost like they're oblivious to the other side of things. And I think they are seeing things that we don't see, obviously, on the conservative side of things. And they choose to ignore anything that may upset their narrative. The issues with trying to invalidate mail-in ballots. Well, if you just look at the history of mail-in ballots and the increased level of fraud and abuse that comes from the mail-in ballots, you may want to watch 2,000 Mules by Dinesh D'Souza, and just put that in context with that comment that the GOP are the ones that are trying to invalidate mail-in ballots. And, you know, for a particular reason, he's right. We are trying to. invalidate mail-in ballots. I would much rather see in-person voting, whether it's early or on the day of the election, to show up at the polls with your ID in hand and cast your paper ballot and run it through whatever machine that counts your ballot. And this thing about mail-in ballots, I don't know. I watched what happened 4 years ago at 2 or 2:30 in the morning when all of a sudden all these mail-in ballots appeared out of nowhere, and Joe Biden won the presidential election. Well, who knows what's going on. Here's another comment that came in on my YouTube channel. In Donald Trump's profoundly twisted view of the world, John McCain was seen as a fool and a loser for not jumping to the front of the line. We all know this is true, and we know who Donald Trump is. We all know of his absolute absence of integrity and absolute contempt for self-sacrifice. And this is a guy that didn't accept any presidential pay. He donated every dollar that he got from his presidential paycheck to various internal causes that went to benefit the people of this country. And this, after so many years of John McCain being out of the public eye, they can't seem to let it go. And yeah, Donald Trump did not like and did not appreciate John McCain, that's for sure. But there were some reasons behind that, and if this particular person decided he wanted to go investigate exactly what the cause of that rift between McCain and Trump was, he may have had second thoughts about doing this kind of commentary. And the other one comes from a Facebook interaction that we've had with a person that's in our circle of acquaintances, certainly not friends, but people that we know. And this person says, I am seeing ads against Harris blaming her along with Biden for the debacle in Afghanistan during the pullout that got 13 Marines killed as well as dozens of citizens. I have seen these reports before, so any of you doubters need to read this. The whole thing was precipitated by Donald Trump himself. In typical fashion, he blames everyone but himself. Trump actually negotiated the release of over 5,000 Taliban so that they could go out and do their worst, which they did. There's a shred of truth in that Donald Trump was truly trying to negotiate a peaceful, honorable withdrawal from Afghanistan. And sometimes you have to bargain with the devil, and that's what he was doing. But to do what Biden and Harris did in the Afghanistan withdrawal was absolutely abysmal. So if folks would take the time to actually go look at the other side of the argument, they may not be tempted as much to make very stupid and shallow comments. What I don't see happening, that's coming from the lefty-liberals, is a symphony of what a wonderful set of policies that Harris and Walz is putting forth to save our country. It's almost like they've ignored the whole thing about the socialist interventionist positions of Kamala Harris trying to impose price controls, giving us a chance for first-time home buyers to get $25,000 for a down payment on their house. And the experts know, the economists know, that those kind of policies don't work, and all they do is drive inflation upwards. But if that's what these folks want, be careful what you ask for and what you wish for. But I'm not seeing a whole bunch of lefties and liberals extolling the virtues of the Harris-Walz policies, the agenda for the future. It's almost like Kamala Harris is running against an incumbent Trump instead of running against herself and her own record. And I wish that the left would put down their blinders just for a second, research the other side of the issues, look things up, do some research before they make silly and stupid comments. That's my rant for today. I hope this Labor Day weekend finds you well. Enjoy the time with your family. Enjoy a great cookout if you can. And enjoy this great Labor Day weekend. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always. And I'll see y'all on the next video.